I've spent the last 20 years building my wealth and it's beyond my wildest dreams. But to get here, I've had to tackle my own bad money habits. So today I thought I'd share with you what these bad money habits are and what I had to do to fix them to become a millionaire, and to show you how easy it is for you to break the bad money habits that are probably keeping you poor. Your money habits are silently, or perhaps not so silently, sabotaging your future. Whether you are stuck in a cycle of overspending or never seem to have enough to save or invest, these money habits are not just keeping you poor, they're setting you up for a lifetime, I'm sorry to say, of financial struggle. But there are easy things that you can do to stop these bad money habits fast. Every time you skip saving for the future or overspend on an impulsive purchase, you're not just spending money, you're robbing your future self of the opportunity to achieve financial freedom, and that's far more important. And it's actually pretty scary. These bad money habits compound over time, making it harder to build wealth and secure that life that you desire. Despite having a decent income, I spent the first 8 years of my working life overspending, undersaving, and pretty much living paycheck to paycheck. But one day I realized things had to change, and I had to tackle the bad money habits that were keeping me poor, even though it probably looked to other people on the outside like I was super rich. By recognizing and breaking these bad money habits, I was able to shift my money mindset and start paving the way towards becoming financially free. A bad money habit that is keeping you poor is paying yourself last, and let me explain what I mean by that. So your paycheck, right, comes in and you immediately pay your rent, like a really good person, you immediately pay your rent, your mortgage, your bills, your debt repayments, and everything else that you need to pay like a good budgeteer. And you feel okay, you're feeling pretty positive about it, and you've got everything paid. Sounds good, okay? But then you decide you'll see what you've got left at the end of the month, and you promise yourself that you'll save that when the month end comes around. But the problem is that by the time the month end comes, that good intention to save money goes up in smoke because you realize you've got nothing left. Because inevitably we're going to spend what we have. You treat yourself, you do something you hadn't planned to do. It's okay, and you'll do it next month, and the whole cycle starts again. This is by far the most common bad money habit that people make. And it's mentioned in the money book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, where he talks about the two different types of people. One who pay themselves last, and those that pay themselves first. Now, the key to breaking this bad money habit is to start paying yourself first. So when your paycheck arrives, all the money is deposited in your bank account, you prioritize saving. Now, it's often suggested that you save a minimum of 10% of your income, come what may, but whatever the amount is, you commit to it. The key to breaking this bad money habit is to start paying yourself first. So when the paycheck arrives or the money's deposited in your bank, you prioritize saving. Now, it's often suggested that you save a minimum of, say, 10% of your income, come what may, but the amount's up to you. Whatever the number you decide to save, it's the first thing you do. Ideally, you set it up on an automated transfer, and preferably to a separate bank account that you need a different login for, or it's way too easy to just log in and transfer it all back again, defeating the object. Now, you might be thinking there's no way that you can do this, but trust me, you can. You will adjust during the month. You'll reduce your spending, and you'll be building wealth over the long term. And that's more important than maybe missing out on a few coffees here and there. Another bad money habit you need to stop is trying to impress your friends and family, or trying to keep up with their spending and their lifestyle. I get it, you want to socialize with friends, but you don't need to go on every trip, do you? You don't need to go to every restaurant, every expensive one that they suggest, or have the latest phone or gadget to keep up with them or to impress them, worst of all. It's okay to be honest. It's fine to explain that you're prioritizing your saving or investing and that you need to budget. If they're real friends, they're going to understand, and they will either adjust their plans or find some other ways to spend time with you. It's not really about people thinking that you're poor and that you can't afford it. It's about explaining you are prioritizing a financial goal. This isn't a negative, it's a positive. You may well be able to afford to do whatever it is they're suggesting, but you are prioritizing something different, something that matters to you. And as for trying to impress people, forget it. The only opinion that matters is yours. When you see all these people on social media flaunting their so-called wealth, always remember that much of it is fake, or it's funded on credit cards or loans or expensive lending. So just ignore the noise. Wealthy people don't need to flaunt their wealth. They're secure in the financial freedom that they have. So ignore what's going on social media. Ignore all the impressive pictures. I've been building my wealth for over 20 years, and I've got the money to do a lot of things, but many of them don't interest me. I never buy nice cars. We live in pretty modest homes, and I spend modestly, but I do love to travel, and I love to travel comfortably. All right, okay, I probably quite luxuriously actually. And that's the spending that I prioritize because that's what's important to me. Over the years, if I'd have spent tons of money on houses and useless gadgets, fancy clothes, and worst of all, expensive cars that lose value faster than almost anything else, I'd never be in the financial position I am now. So my advice to you is to prioritize saving and investing. Stop trying to keep up with the family and friends and never try to impress anyone. And then prioritize the spending that's important to you. Another money habit that's keeping you poor is putting everything on your credit card to get those valuable reward points. Now, I'm guilty of this too. And whilst the intention's good, I think, and I've got tons of free flights using the points. The reality is that we all spend more because we can. We buy things we probably wouldn't if we had to use our debit card. The way to fix this bad money habit is to still keep paying for stuff using your points credit card, but pay it off every day or every few days. Now I do mine every week. That way you will only ever be spending on things you can afford. You still get the points and those all important free flights, but you'll keep your spending under control and you won't have any unexpected bills at the end of the month. Remember, credit card firms are there to they're not there to give you money, right? They're there to give you money in the hope that you don't pay it off and you end up paying them interest, which can be over 20%. So don't get into that debt trap just because of a vacation or a dress or some new thing that you want. So fix it, switch to paying it off quickly, daily or weekly. The next bad money habit you need to fix is knowing exactly where you are in your finances. I hate the word budget, but you need to be tracking your money. You need to have some way of knowing what's coming in, what's going out, and where it's going. Initially, you need to be tracking this, but you then need to be planning for it too. So whether you call it budgeting or financial planning, people that do it, whatever it is, are in control of their money and they find it easier to save, invest, and build wealth over time. So get to grip with your money and develop a good money habit by getting in control of your finances and using something like a money tracker or a money journal. Another bad money habit that is keeping you poor is, believe it or not, you might be saving too much. Yes, it is possible to focus too much on saving money. And let me explain what I mean by this. Obviously, you can't build wealth by spending the money you earn, but you also can't build wealth by saving everything you earn either, or at least not very quickly. When I see people like Martin Lewis, the well-known UK money saving expert, talk about spending hours online trying to save a tiny amount off their phone bill each month, I despair, as there is a limit to how much you can reduce your expenses by, and a limit to how much you can save from your income. Yet there is no limit to how much you can earn, how much money you can make. And to build real wealth over time, you need to focus on both of those things. Yes, you definitely do need to explore and reduce your expenses where you can. Yes, you need to save and invest as much of your income as you can afford, but you also need to look at ways to increase the amount of money you make, or it's all pointless. The money that you can earn, the money you can make, is limitless. Whether you're investing in the stock market, whether you're developing your career, whether you're asking for a pay rise, having a side hustle, starting a business, the money you can actually earn is the best money habit to develop is to constantly be looking to increase what you earn. And don't over-focus on trying to save too much all the time, down to the tiny little pennies. Another money habit to break, if you want to build wealth over time, is never pay more than you have to in taxes, right? Pretty simple, but we all miss it. One of the best investments you'll ever make in yourself is having a good accountant who can make sure you take advantage of all the legal tax benefits available to you. I could spend hours recording videos telling you how to do this, that, and the other in the tax world yourself. I'm not qualified. Your time and my time would be better spent using that time to earn more money and paying a cost-effective accountant to do it for us, someone who's an expert. So go and get one. They'll almost always save you far more than you pay them. I know mine certainly has. The bad money habit that is keeping you poor is delaying your financial freedom, putting off the action you need to take. If you want to be a millionaire or just be comfortable, the earlier you start, the better. Every year you delay can cost you tens or even hundreds of thousands of pounds in lost growth over time. The sooner you start, the less money you need to invest over the long term to achieve your goals. So don't delay. It's super easy to get started, and I have other videos on my channel about how to get started with things like stock market investing and lots of other stuff as well. And it is easier than you think to build wealth over time if you ditch the bad money habits that are keeping you poor and perhaps even making you poor. Now, my name's David Paul, and if you found this video useful, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like more money, investing, and wealth suggestions. Until the next time, stay focused on your financial goals, and remember, you can't save your way to wealth. You have to make more money to do it. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Until the next time, bye for now.